My name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, I got a very special guest, pro wrestler in training and works in the ring, Larenz Markell.
Nice to meet you.
That's how you pronounce it, right,
Yes,
Markell?
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Nice to meet you, too, even though you're wearing a Yankees hat.
Yeah.
See, that I didn't ask him to take it off, guys, because, you know, you got to like who you like. Right? That's all.
Yeah.
Had to. Where'd you grow up?
I moved a lot. So I grew up in like Seacoast, New Hampshire. I've lived in Manchester when I was real younger. Got beat up a bunch. That was awesome.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, just from New Hampshire for the most part. And yeah, that's pretty much. We just moved so much I can't like pinpoint one, but I'd say Dover I lived the longest.
Okay.
Growing up.
Great. Do you remember when you first saw pro wrestling?
I do. I was like, it's crazy because it was so long ago and I was so young. Maybe like I have these weird memories, like 4 or 5 years old. And I remember my mom would bring me to our babysitter and they were obsessed with wrestling, obsessed. Like I remember this stone cold action figure in a box in glass casing and they'd be like, don't touch the case, don't even touch the glass. I'm like, okay, being like 4. And like just little flashes of that I remember. And then I remember their giant, their body pillow on their couch. And it wasn't Sting, but it was the scorpion on his gear.
Right.
And I remember that for some reason. But that was the earliest memory of pro wrestling that I've ever had.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Were your family and friends into it too? Do you have brothers or anything like that?
My kid brother Jared was super into it. I got him into it when I was probably like 11 or 12. So it must have been like 07, 06, 07. He was real little. My friends, we were all heavy into it, like beating each other up in the park. Even got like the cops called on us thinking we were like fighting. Yeah. We didn't know what we were doing, so we were punching each other like a bunch of jerks. But yeah. And then my friend, I stayed into it and it'd always been like, oh, Larenz, you're going to get over it when you're 12. And then it was you're 14 and here I am 26 years old and I'm doing it now. So it's
nice.
It's weird, but yeah.
That's awesome. Who were some of your favorites when you first started watching?
My number one to this day, always Jeff Hardy. For some reason, just always been into that cat. Like obviously, he's the charismatic enigma,
exactly.
you know.
And work.
Yep. Christian Cage, I loved him growing up. There's a Booker T, one of my other probably top 3, but sometimes it changes. But that guy Jeff is always one.
Nice. Booker T, I don't hear that enough from people. You know what I mean?
Booker T is disgusting.
Unbelievable, right? I mean. So nice to see him back. To see that he's announcing now, he's commentating for NXT now.
Absolutely. I think I saw him do like some indie date on Instagram and he was like in his Harlem Heat gear. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super awesome.
I got to meet him in that. You know Pat Dillon? Have you met Pat Dillon? He runs UFO Wrestling.
No, I haven't yet.
I'm sure you will, but Pat
next weekend I will be.
Oh, you're going to be at the show?
I will be working in the show.
I'll be doing the concession. Saturday night name's Barry, the Monsters Ball. UFO Wrestling. All right. So when did you know you wanted to try to, be a wrestler? So
it was probably, I think it was 2002, 2003. I really liked Kane when I was a little kid. I was like, oh yeah, the big fiery comic book guy. He's awesome. He's huge, looked great. He was in like that run when he was like facing Triple H and stuff like that. I think he had the IC title and the tag titles at the same time.
Nice.
But it was TLC 4 on Raw Roulette. I'll never forget this. I love Kane.
Yep.
And then I see Jeff Hardy do some crazy leg drop spot through a table, and I was like, oh my God, that guy is so cool. I want to do that. Like not just jump off stuff, but I just loved like the whole thing that was going on. And I was like, hopefully one day I can do that.
That's awesome because not most kids, when they're young, they like guys like Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, X-Pac. This is my grandson and my son, who's 33 now. But Jose, he's 15. Kane was his very favorite first wrestler. He loved Kane, so it's nice to hear that. Because I don't think he gets enough recognition as being how great he was. You never really hear anybody saying stuff like that about Kane.
Yeah, I love Kane. Kane's awesome.
And he was an incredible worker.
Those uppercuts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and just, he was very coordinated for a big guy. You know, him and Undertaker for big guys.
Anything I've ever heard from people, like on interviews, WWE, they say he's like super safe and the easiest to work with. So that's cool to hear too.
Right, absolutely. All right, how about, tell us about attending your first show, WWE, whatever.
My first show was actually
that you went to.
That I went to was actually the it was another Jeff Hardy story. I used to live in Manchester. My mom's boyfriend at the time, my little brother's dad, he surprised me. He's like, we're going to go to wrestling. I'm like, what kind of wrestling? And then I got to see the Undertaker Jeff Hardy ladder match live as a kid. So that was
unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I actually watched that a month ago, and it's still, I mean,
still
what
holds
a
up.
Great match,
The
man.
story.
And I guess after the match, remember when Taker raised Jeff's hand?
Yep.
And he never did stuff like that. That was a great match.
For that match, a lot of people remember like the spots and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but there's my favorite part of the match. There's some part Jeff's getting his ass kicked, and he just comes up and he just starts throwing hate, like he's fighting for his life,
Yes.
and then he just gets cut right back down. That's my favorite part of the match.
I'm telling you, that match was phenomenal. What about indie show? Did you go to any indies before you started training?
I did. I went to like one or two because I was like poor and didn't have like access to go and do things like that all the time. And I actually didn't know about indie wrestling like as a kid. I had a friend named Angel in middle school. And I went to a couple shows with him and his dad. It was actually Chaotic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Chaotic. I didn't know until like years later. I was like, this sounds familiar. I was like, oh, that's where I know it from because I've been there and stuff like that, like way back in the day.
Do you remember where it was, though, just by chance, just in case?
I think it was near Lawrence.
Okay. They ran Lawrence, Lowell. So
I believe it was Lawrence because
Okay.
I believe Angel's dad lived in Lawrence, and he was like, "Yeah, it's right down the street, boys. We can go.
Nice.
But yeah, I remember those ones. But I think it was only like one or two, to be honest.
But that's cool, though, that you remembered it, though. Chaotic, you know?
Yeah, it clicked years later. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but
Right.
years later when I'm looking like, oh, how do I be a wrestler? Like Chaotic Wrestling, the CTC, like when I was real little looking into things like that, not even old enough to do it. and then it clicked then.
Nice. All right. So we talked before the show started. I didn't know that you trained at a few different places.
Yes, I have.
Now, first off, where are you training now?
I train at the elite school down in oh my God, brain fart, Concord.
Yep.
And then before that, I was at Nepwa for I believe close to 2 years, and then that's when I switched over to there. But when I first started training in wrestling, I was actually going to start at Nepwa. I went to go visit. I didn't do anything in the ring, but they said we could watch a class.
Right.
And I'm not going to name names, but some guy just crap down my throat.
Right.
Because I was a big boy. I was like 280, and
Really?
yeah, like on and on like a barely
fantastic.
Well, thank you. But like on a 5'10" frame, that does not look good. But they just crapped on me like, oh yeah, you sure you want to do this, big boy? Blah blah blah, this and that. You'll never touch a show. You'll never do this. You'll never do that. And I got something cool to play off that a little later when we get to that question. So, but there was that, and then me and my girlfriend at the time, we ended up moving to Arizona.
Okay.
And then I was so scared to tell her, like, hey, I want to wrestle. I thought it was, you get it.
Yeah, I do.
And then we went there, and we did like 6 weeks. You had to pass a tryout.
Okay.
Showing like you're a good person, you got heart, this and that. They just do like crazy workouts, no bumping, no wrestling, just like tire flips. You do that for a tryout, and if you they'll tell you if you make it or not. Some kids didn't make it. I got to make it. Wow. I was shocked. That was the first thing I ever earned in my life, like truly earned. You know what I mean? That real feeling.
That's cool.
And then after that, when we started going, it was 6 weeks of conditioning, no touching the ring, just more crazy workouts. And then once you pass your eval, you have to do all these workouts and stuff, like a certain amount of reps and time and all that stuff. Then you earn the opportunity to get in the ring and learn how to roll, and then we went from there. And then we moved back, and that's how I ended up back in Nepwa.
That's wild because I never heard anything like that, and I kind of like it. They get to know you a little bit before they even get you in the ring.
There's an interview process before it too.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, they're good dudes. They're solid dudes, and they're old school.
Yeah, I know Scott is doing stuff like that now when he has trainees come in, like a background check and things like that.
Yep.
Like people that kind of work for him or whatever.
Yep.
Smart.
Yeah, good.
Smart. All right. So was there anybody that, we'll go with Arizona first. So was there anybody in the class that these guys might know? Or heard of?
Trainers over there, we have Dom Vitale, Gabriel Gallo, Navajo Warrior, and Alex Hammerstone when he wasn't too busy with MLW or whatever his obligation was at the time, and they're tremendous helps. They keep it real with you, they keep it brutally honest, but also build you up and build off your strengths, but we work on those weaknesses too while we were over there.
Right.
I didn't get to do too much training because I have such a bad shoulder. It's not even funny. It's just like made out of like silly string at this point.
Do you tape it up?
I have like a shoulder brace because
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
did you ever see Josh Briggs?
yeah.
Josh used to tape. I think he had a bad shoulder. I think it was a shoulder.
Yeah, it's lame and I hate it so much, but like it is what it is. But like
Right.
I just can't go upwards with it too much
Okay.
anymore. Like I get like to like here and I'm good.
Right.
So I got to like keep it kind of in place.
All right. So, and I know for a fact these guys will know some of the people you trained with at New England Pro Wrestling Academy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, who are some of the guys that you trained with over there?
Randy Rivera. Oh, Jerry L. Rivera. I'm sorry.
Yo, that's right.
Yep.
He just changed his
My
name.
bad,
I said
my bad.
Randy to you earlier.
Ricky Smokes, awesome guy. New guy out there, Sean Keegan Vegan, love him. Got to work with him in the ring the other night
Yep.
at APW. That was cool.
Big kid too.
He's so
you know?
tall.
Yeah.
I used to call him like, dude, you look like the jacked up tall jungle boy with facial hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey.
kinda.
Yeah, a little bit.
But Sean's a solid dude.
Nice. Yeah, he's been. I've seen him on a few shows. He's doing really well. You know.
El Spartano, Nick Slater. Just
Oh,
name,
okay.
yeah.
Yes.
He's awesome too. I'm happy to see he's doing so well. I love his superhero shtick. He did like
Yeah.
one promo, like and he's like in a bat cave. I laughed so hard, but like in a good way. I was like, that is sick. That is so
Nice.
funny. I love that. So yeah, those guys are awesome. They're all very kind. Mortar was another one I trained with
CJ,
there.
yeah. Great kid.
Yeah, he's very nice. He's rough, but like at the same time, like
Is he stiff? He look no.
and if it was probably my fault.
He's such a good worker.
Yeah, and he's good, and he'll build you up and make you confident. Like I remember doing class matches, and he'd just like be on the ground selling. He'll tell me what to do, like because I'm not a very good baby face,
Yeah.
or not yet at least. And
Right.
he'd just be like, do this, do that, and I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much. And just he was helpful, and he was the one who he really toughened me up. He turned me into a
Nice.
callus in there. So always thankful for that.
Nice. Now I liked his tag team that he had going with Max Smashmaster.
Yes.
Now Scott's he's a trainer over there now
Mm-hmm.
still, right? I think. Now, do you have a hand in your training too?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Scott helped a lot with my confidence. That's
Right.
one thing I struggle with still, like a little bit. Gotten way better, but that's one thing I always struggled with.
Nice.
Scott was good with me. He taught me like why, like always asked me like, why'd you do that?
Right.
Why this? Why that? And like Scott's awesome. I love
Nice.
Scott.
And Chase, he had a
yep.
hand, obviously.
Oh yeah, Chase would. Oh,
Another good trainer.
absolutely. Chase would always make sure I remained professional. Like I used to
Right.
like Green, like getting upset with myself and like not being able to like hone it in. Like you'd see
Right.
it on my face, like
Yeah.
knowing I messed up, and we can't do that.
Right.
But like I'm grateful for him helping me with that too, and like teaching me that side of it. Obviously, he helped me with my wrestling a lot
Right.
too. But that was the one thing that I'm really appreciative about.
Who runs the promo classes like over at NEPA? I never really asked that question from anybody. Would it be Chase? Because he's definitely great on the microphone.
I think a lot of it was Chase. I don't really remember.
Scotty Slade's good on the microphone too. Was
He was
training there?
he was there for a little bit when
Okay.
I first started, but then I don't know where he went.
Right. Okay.
Because I came like while it was still like COVID stuff. And
Oh,
at the
all right,
end,
yeah,
like
yeah. So a lot of
almost-
people weren't even going to training.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and there was like limited amount of people. But for promo classes, I think it was sometimes it was Scott, sometimes it was Chase. It just really depended on the day and who was
Right.
running it and if promos were that day.
Right. And like I said, both those guys are talkers, man. Really, really good talkers.
Yeah, I can't really say too much about Netball right now because I've been out of the loop since like
Right.
middle end of
Oh yeah,
July.
no, we're gonna move on. But
yeah.
I just figured I'd ask though, anyways.
For sure, for
because
sure.
I never asked anybody who ran the promo class. For
sure.
Well, let's talk a little about the Elite Pro Wrestling Academy.
Yep.
How long have you been there?
I got there the end of July.
Okay.
End of July this year. Some weird stuff with the transition and all that, like just making sure everything was all good to cross train and do things like that. You know, just dotting my I's, crossing my
Yep.
T's, making sure no one gets in trouble. This, and that. And yeah, and then I just started going there. I started doing I like split my time for the first couple weeks, and then I
Right.
just kind of like not on purpose, just kind of like naturally merged there. Like honestly, like I kind of felt like I fit in more there,
Right.
and like I was a little more comfortable. And me personally, that's not like a knock to Nepal
Right,
at all.
right, of course
But
not.
I kind of
No, I hear
had
ya.
I kind of had to do what was best for me, and I do better in smaller classes because I felt like at the other place I was kind of just like getting through it barely
Right.
and like not retaining it. But now that like I'm like one of the few people there, like I'm in it. It's like boom, 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 go, go,
Right.
go. You don't have your brain doesn't have a chance to shut off. You know, it's the same over there. It's go, 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 and
Right.
like you gotta keep that brain, but it's a little different. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I hear you. And Sonny is doing the promo classes there?
I believe so.
I'm sure they're all involved. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but I could picture
Usually-
Sonny being the guy because
Yeah, but it's usually Coach Hollow.
Coach Hall, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. One more question on the little get to know you interview, and then we'll get into fan questions. Tell us about your first booking. If you want to say out there and here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you did you have your first booking in Arizona?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't. I was nowhere near match ready. Actually, Chase made me start over because he didn't like, because I didn't go to class consistently a lot there because like my work schedule, and then COVID hit, and then we shut down for a few months, and then like there was some loose stuff where we could like go and do like tape study of like old matches, promo stuff like that, but no touching and all that. So like I didn't really get to do too much, like didn't really get to get like good enough. I got to Nepwa, and then Chase was like, we're just gonna start from scratch. It's not a knock to you, and I have no issue with that. That helped me. I was conditioned. I was in like good, like not great shape yet, but like, I had my wind underneath me and I wasn't dying. But yeah, my first booking was actually through Chaotic, funny enough, because, Fatty, you're never gonna make it. You'll never touch this show, but hey, it was in my hometown too, which was really awesome. That was, I'm all about kind of like sticking it to people sometimes, and appropriately, of course.
Right, of course.
But all the teachers.
You can't blame you though, for you know what I mean, for feeling that.
Yeah,
way.
and all the teachers and stuff when I was like expressed, I want to be a wrestler. Oh, you can never do that. This, and that. So it's just like, hey, I'm here doing it here. But yeah, the story with that is, just in class, per usual. And like, again, like the confidence thing, like I just thought, I was like, I'm never going to get one. I'm never going to get squashed. I'm never going to get like the Santino'd in a battle royal or anything like that. But Chase came up to me after class. I was getting my stuff ready and he's like, Larenz, do you have gear? And I was like, yeah. And he said, forget what day it was, but he said, bring it Saturday. And I was like, what? And I was like, are you serious? And he's like, oh, or I can change my mind. I was like, no, you're good, you're good. So I am forever grateful for that. And I had a small spot, and it's your first one. You never forget your first one. I had like a small spot with some big guy, and I got to like shove him and just us in the middle, yelling at him, talking crap, and like, I got to hit him a bunch. He was very generous, and then he chopped me up and threw me out, and that was it. And that was fun.
Now, was that in Lowell?
Nope, that was in Dover, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay, so it was all right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to the fan questions.
Sure.
First question is from a former guest here, Ronnie Maestro.
Ronnie.
Good old Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Can you name your 5 top wrestlers of all time? I know it's got to be hard because this, so you know what I mean. I know for me, I love a million wrestlers.
We got. I'll just no particular order: Jeff Hardy, Booker T, Christian Cage, Edge, and I'll throw Randy Orton in there right now.
Nice. That's a good list.
Yeah.
That's a really good list. Ronnie, thanks for the question.
Thank you.
The guy I was telling you about, I don't think I ever showed you his picture, Jared Doomling, who I told you said, this is what he said. You had a good showing in the Clipper City Rumble Saturday.
Thank you.
How was participating in this type of match?
It was definitely different. I've never been in a Rumble or a Battle Royal where there's pins, submissions, and over the top. So like I was kind of
weird.
That is super weird. So I was just kind of like, I didn't want to like really like throw anyone around because like everyone, I was just always taught don't do that in a Battle Royal. No disrespect or anything, but that's just what I was taught. So I just stuck to like strikes, working the ropes and stuff. So I was just trying to be like kind of weary and just making sure I wasn't rolling on anyone or no one was rolling on me. But it was definitely fun. I got to touch new people appropriately.
Right? Yeah.
But I got to do that. I got to work with Sean for the first time. I've always loved Sean. He's always been a nice guy to me. So that was cool to get to
He's been working a little bit for Atlantic Pro Wrestling too for a little bit here and there.
Yep.
So it's
nice.
I've
seen a couple. Yep. I've seen him doing a lot in Vermont. But yeah, I got to do that with him. And got to just have some fun. I felt like I was in there for more than a generous amount of time. So thank you, Mike. And
nice.
Yeah, I had a great time. It was fun.
Excellent. Awesome. All right. He has a follow-up. Well, no, we don't have to. I'll say the question, but you already answered it. Have you ever been in one before? No, you just told us you did.
Oh, no, I've been in a Battle Royal before.
You were?
Yeah,
okay.
that was my first match.
First Rumble, though, right?
Oh, first Rumble. Yeah, first Rumble style, yes.
Okay, so but might as well talk about the other Battle Royal. Where was it?
That was the Dover show, my first one.
Excellent. Okay, and I think he has one more. What's your favorite match of your young career so far?
That I've had?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had like a handful.
Yeah, but so they all were all good for you, though, right?
I guess my favorite one was probably the one when I went to Arizona.
Okay.
Over. Probably not my best like showing, like, you rip it apart after and whatever, but like, it was a great time, like to be trusted by my old trainers. Like, we're gonna give you 15 minutes, you're gonna work with this guy, and you're gonna get a promo, and they let me come up with like the idea of like the I came out basically, had these paper bags. And I was like, you're all ugly, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to look at you. I'm going to put these on you when I'm done, and I'm going to put them on the baby face. And then like at the end, I was like, he was going to put the bag on my head.
Right.
And they let me like produce all this, which was like
Yeah.
really flattering and whatever, because, you know, I'm new. And then I was like, wait, John, don't put the bag on my head. Shove it down my throat. And then they did it, and they loved it. So I had a lot of fun doing that.
That's awesome.
That was super rewarding that they
It's
enjoyed
funny,
themselves.
I'm a big TV guy, and did you ever watch the show Nip Tuck when it was on years ago?
Maybe I've seen an episode.
Well, there
too.
was one of the scene. The guy says, "I bought you something. I want you to put it on." And she goes to the room and she goes, "I was looking for it. All there is here is a bag." But it made me think of that right away when you said your bags. All right. Thank you, Jared,
Thank
and
you.
Thank you, Ronnie, too. All right. From Coach Hollow. What are some of the training differences that you have noticed with the schools you've trained at? It's a hard question, but it was a great question.
Some care more than others about their certain students. Some take conditioning very seriously. I don't know. They're all so different in their own ways, and it's not like a knock or anything. It's just like this is that. Like I'm wearing a blue shirt.
Right.
But I don't know. I've just noticed, like, especially where I'm at now, like I particularly get like a lot of one-on-one time, and Coach Hollow worked me like a dog some nights.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good, and I'm much better for it. So thank you, Coach. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like a solid answer for that, to be honest. But like I don't know. I've noticed like here where I'm at now, the footwork isn't so important.
We talked about that on here, yeah.
NEPWA, footwork is important, and you need to be conditioned. You need to be an athlete. You need to be ready to go. You cannot die. So I'm super thankful for that, because like Arizona conditioned me, but NEPWA was some next level stuff, and like I'm like not to toot my own horn, but like I got cardio for days because of that place, so I'm thankful for them for all that.
Toot, I'll toot it for you.
Toot.
All right, next question is from my grandson. I asked him if he had any questions. He says, do you like other sports? If so, which ones do you like the most?
I love baseball. I love the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm not super into this era of Yankees, but my era of Yankees was like Jason Giambi, Hideki Matsui, Derek Jeter, A-Rod, Bernie Williams, all those dudes.
Posada.
Jorge Posada.
Right up the middle. I have so much respect for it. Posada, Williams,
Mike
and
Messina.
Jeter.
Mike Messina, the knuckle curve.
Yeah.
I like hockey too. My friends always
my
do.
sport.
Hockey, San Jose Sharks. We aren't always the best, but you gotta stick with your team. I like football, but like I've kind of fallen out of it because like all the rule changes and stuff like that. I'm like,
It's not the same.
It's gonna be
a lot of the sports is really not the same.
We don't gotta
but
kill each other, but like it's turning into flag football. But my team is the Carolina Panthers. They're garbage, but like, hey, that's my squad.
That's your team.
That's my squad.
Nice. All right. Isaiah says, have you met any big stars? Because he's met a lot of big stars through me, so.
Oh, in wrestling?
Yeah, wrestling, anything.
I used to be like in a pretty popular band called Sync With Me. There's my plug.
Nice.
I used to be in that band, and then I wanted to take wrestling more serious. So I met like a lot of famous band people through there. I'm actually friends, if anyone listens to like hardcore metalcore music, I'm actually decent friends with the drummer from the band called The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh, cool.
And so like we text on Instagram. It's been a little bit, but like we text back and forth. He invited me to paint his house, which was really cool.
wow.
And yeah, so I know people like that. I've met, not like close with them, but like in a restaurant before, I have met CM Punk like in passing. That was okay.
Was he nice to you? Because
yeah,
I
he's
met him a whole bunch of times. He was always grumpy and all.
He was pretty polite. He was short, but he was polite and like happy to. I didn't ask him to sign anything. He was kind of like, "You want me to sign something?" I was like, "If you want, but I'm not gonna make you."
Right.
And
cool.
I met Christian Cage when I was about 15, and he was really nice. He talked to me for like 10 minutes, and that was really cool. But that's it for wrestlers.
Right.
I've never really paid for the meet and greets and stuff like that. I never go to those things really. Right. I don't even go to a lot of WWE live events, to be honest. Like,
okay. It's saying that you're a musician, a drummer.
Yep.
Two of my favorite bands. I'm sure you've heard of one of them at least. Tesla?
Nope.
No. Wow. Then you definitely haven't heard of Blue October.
I know what Blue October is.
Oh man, you got to check them out. Check out Tesla. Is that what you're into? Rock music?
Like
the hottest
like
stuff?
like hardcore, post-hardcore, metalcore, stuff like that. I used to be into pop punk, but I grew up can only listen to songs about your hometown and hating your girlfriend and pizza for so long, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I used to be into that kind of thing, like the alt scene. Like basically, how I sum it up to people is Warped Tour music.
Right.
Like when it was around, Warped Tour music.
All right. Jai has one more question.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Thanks, Jai.
5 years, owning a house, continuing to be the best father I possibly can be to my little boy Gianni.
And how old is he?
He's going to be 2 on Halloween. He's a spooky baby. Yeah. He's the man. He's got crazy facials already. I hope he wrestles. We'll never make him. We'll never live through my kids.
But if he wants
does, oh yeah, I'm like, you're a good looking kid. Like, go. Mom's like, no.
Right.
But yeah. And hopefully further along in my wrestling career. And you know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I see myself wrestling in 5 years, to be honest, because it changes so quick. Who knows?
Right.
Like, I could hurt myself and it could be over tomorrow. Could be over this Saturday. Who knows?
Well, let's hope that don't happen, because you know we want to see you wrestle for a while.
Absolutely.
All right. What are you trained at? Sonny Goodspeed. You've trained at other. It's pretty much the same as Mike. You've trained at other locations. What are you finding the biggest differences? Is there any difference in anything?
That's more of a pinpoint question, I think. But I definitely think the one-on-one time, and like I said, it's not a knock or anything like that. But like that, and that's I needed that, because like my retention, it has gotten much better, but it was not great. Like I'm not gonna lie to anybody. Like, yeah, I know this and that. No. Whoop. But no, like the one-on-one time and like the other NEPWA, like there's a lot of people, so you don't necessarily get that. We can't be selfish. Everyone's got to get in there and get their reps. You know what I mean? Like, you get a certain amount of tries, but like, you know, at that point where I was, like I needed more, like more one-on-one time, and like. And it was hard sometimes because, you know, like I'm kind of socially awkward. So like I feel weird, like, hey, you want to go roll around with me to certain people? And like sometimes people are grumpy and you get the stank eye and it kind of makes you like, I don't want to ask anymore.
And you won't ask them anymore, right? And that's not good.
No, I know. That's not a knock. You know, everyone has bad days. I have I'm not a resting bee face. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say on your show.
No, but pretty much, except for the big hot, you know, the bad words.
Yeah, I have resting bitch face. So like I get it. So and some people are like, oh, you're not approachable, and then they talk to me like, oh. So I get it. So everyone has bad days and stuff like that. But back to it, like the one-on-one, the amount of reps I'm getting, like I said, Coach Hollow works me like a dog some night. I'm probably gonna get there tonight. And Larenz, get in here, stretch real quick, get in here, okay. But yeah.
All right, excellent. And this last one from Sonny. What do you find the most challenging about training?
Chain wrestling.
Yeah, well, you have to remember everything, right?
Yep. Chain but mine has gotten much better, which I'm very happy about. Like, that's not going to be my go-to ever.
Right.
You know, Chase always told me, like, he even said, like, I'm not great at chain wrestling, like, compared to others. Like, you're not going to see me doing that a bunch on, like, a match or whatever. He's like, you don't want to put people to sleep, you know what I mean? And he told me that in a class match I was working, like, I forget who I was working with, but, like, we tried to do some of that, and it just looked poopy. You know what I mean? So, like, and I got that good feedback. I was like, okay. He's like, you got to be competent. You got to know how to wrestle. And he's like, but that doesn't need to be, like, your go-to.
Right.
But, like, I still try my best, and I still go for it and try and learn new things, but I'm not here trying to be, like, the next Bryan Danielson or whoever it may be, you know?
Okay. Excellent. Thanks, Sonny. Stephen Piercy wants to know, I saw in the pics from Fan Questions post that you play the drums. How long have you been playing the drums?
Probably since I was 17.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm 26 now. And then I got into like bands. When I started playing in a band in 2014. That was pretty cool and fun. Then I got into a more popular band in 2017. That ended after like a year. Then we like got back together as that new band, Sync With Me. And then that was like crazy bonkers.
Yeah.
That was like a full-time job. Like,
wow. And how old were you then?
This was only like a year and a half ago now. I left and I was like, all right, I want to, like, I kind of got to pick either wrestling or this. And I've had my fun with the band. Like I've made the t-shirts, sold t-shirts, traveled the country with some of my best friends, crazy stories, like van stories, all that stuff. And it's very similar to wrestling actually, which is interesting.
I would imagine the traveling,
the marketing, like that whole business, it's like almost the same. So I'm happy I kind of have that like in the chamber, you know?
Right.
But I did that for a little while, did music videos. And at that point I was like, I've done everything I said I was going to do. Cause like, that's kind of the thing I do. Like I don't know how long it's going to take me to do it, but I will do it. I'm a dripping damn faucet. I'm going to take forever to fill that sink up. But once I'm full, like it's a mess, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I got to ask, how long did it take you till you were like, you were really confident on the drums? You know what I mean?
Probably,
like I'm sure
probably my first tour.
Okay.
My
And
after
how long was that though? Like how long had you been
probably
playing?
like 5 years in.
Okay.
You know, because like playing in front of a crowd is like nerve wracking for
Right.
anything. So like you're not like really confident. But then like once people are digging your music
Yeah.
and like kids are streaming your stuff, like a lot of streaming. Like it was Sync with Me, like so many numbers. I was like, I can't even believe this many people are like looking at this. Like I'm talking like 25,000 views in it, like in
That's
like 12,
awesome.
in like 12 hours.
Yeah, because I get like 400 views and I'm jumping up and down with excitement. So that's a lot of
If that's
views.
big for you, that's big.
It
like,
is big for
hell
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not even a knock. That's big for you.
My
hell
audience.
Yeah. Hell yes. Hell yes. But yeah, once I got seeing that stuff, you just start whapping away. You know what I mean? And
But I'm just curious, like, was it like a year before you like were getting just like not be like playing it in a band on that, but getting the confidence and say, wow, I'm getting good at this.
it was probably around the time I started playing with Sync with Me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we started practicing stuff, I was like, oh, like I'm way better than I remember. I was like, all right, and like people liked the ideas I had. My band members were like, yo, that was sick, like fills and whatever, cymbal work. I was good at like tom work. That was like my thing, and double kick was cool, and yeah.
Who's your favorite drummer?
Oh man, Giuseppe from The Devil Wears Prada. He's the man. He's so clean, so clean.
Nice. Any other drummers that you've you've admired?
Oh man, Ryan Burt from the Amity Affliction. He's no longer with them. He left a few years ago for like mental health reasons.
Right.
Those are my two main ones, though.
Okay.
I used to like this guy named Daniel Williams. He was a tank. He was crazy. And I think those are probably my top three.
Okay. Because there's so many great drummers.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's like guitarists, singers, everything. You know?
There's even some bands where like their drum tech plays drums, and like if the drummer's sick, he'll play the songs because he knows them. He's touring with them all the time, and then I'm like, oh, you're disgusting too. So it's like hard, you know?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Seeing you've just starting in your career, why don't we play the name game?
Okay.
Where you tell me a story, anything you know about them, or anything.
Sure.
Anything that pops to your head.
Oh boy.
I'm going to start off with guys I definitely know you know.
Okay.
Matt Patero.
The politician. Well, he chain rips cigarettes.
Really?
Like an SOB. And I catch him. I caught him at the show last week. I'm like, Matt, you're gonna die. Matt, you're gonna die. Stuff like that, just teasing him. He just never struck me as that type.
Right, as a smoker. I didn't know he smoked either.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like shook when I saw him. I was like, Matt, what are you doing? What is that? Is that a lung dart in your mouth right now? Like, what is that?
Right.
But yeah, that's funny. I just thought it was always funny catching him, and I just bust his chops every time I see him doing it.
I can't wait to see him out there working, because I think this character is going to be phenomenal, because he's a legit politician. And everybody says, though, like the best gimmick you could have is yourself turned up to 1,000.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to see what he has in store for everybody. There's never been a wrestling politician that I know of.
That's pretty creative. I like it too. And
Me too.
I don't know if anyone's got to see it yet, but his finish is pretty cool.
Is it really?
It's pretty cool, and it's safe, and it's nice. It's
I saw
clean.
him Friday night at the show.
Yeah, he had an angle, I think. I think I was like getting ready or something like that, or getting undressed when he was.
I didn't get a chance to, no, this Friday night.
Oh, Friday night at Pop-Up?
But but I didn't get a chance, so I was doing the concessions. But I got to talk to him. He came in, sat with Sonny for a little bit, and watched the show. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what he has in store for us. And that's cool to hear that he has a great finish.
Yeah.
How about Kid V? He's going to be in a couple weeks again.
I actually don't know Jay very well. We when I first went to started going to my new school, Elite. We rolled around a little bit. We did some drills together, but like I haven't really seen much of him. He's been busy with APW and whatever else he's got going on. But I truthfully don't know him too well. But he's always been nice to me. We talked a little bit the other night at the APW show. And yeah, he's always been cool to me.
Excellent. Okay. How about his sometimes New England tag team partner, Monty Aries?
Monty Aries, I don't know him very well either. I'm not really a next gen guy. I don't know many of those guys.
I wasn't sure if you know what I mean, if you had crossed paths with some of these guys.
Me and him threw some haymakers at each other in the Rumble the other night, so that was cool. He was one I wanted to get my hands on.
He's doing very well.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was nice. He was kind. He's loud.
Yeah, he is a loud guy.
I'm like, who is he yelling? I'm like, oh, it's you.
Yeah, he is a loud guy. But yeah,
I got a big mouth too, so hey.
Me too.
In a good way. In a good way, he has a big mouth.
Right. He's definitely coming along too very well. He was at the finals, right? He made it down to the final two, and Owen Brody, in case anybody's wondering, won the Clipper City Rumble at APW this past weekend. How about, we'll stay safe on this one. How about Ronnie Maestro?
Ronnie is the most hyper person you will ever
He's
meet.
very hyper.
Ronnie is so kind and he's so nice and
loves I mean,
Yes,
the
he does.
history.
Yeah.
Kid knows his history.
yeah, he was talking to me about some match he was watching on my way here. I was like, I'll shoot you a text later, man, but he's very kind. I always tease him. I'm like, Ronnie, you had too much cereal today because he's always so hyper.
He is hyper.
Eating Fruity Pebbles and junk, and he's a good kid.
Well, it's great though, because like I had talked to Sonny and Coach Hollow, about Ronnie, and they felt that he would stand a better chance of getting involved by refereeing at first and then continue to train.
I agree.
As a wrestler.
When I see his hair and stuff, I would remember that referee,
Right,
that
right.
face, like he's skinny, like not in a bad way, he's just
Right,
skinny,
right,
and like
yeah.
I would remember that. You know what I mean? Like
And like I said, though, he's a kind kid.
he's very
He
kind.
really is.
And he's very humble, and he's just doing his
very
thing.
hyper.
He's very hyper, eating all the Skittles, all the Sour Patch Kids, bouncing, boom, 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 boom.
Right.
But I love Ronnie. He's a great guy.
Awesome. All right, how about we talked about Gal Barkley.
Gal is awesome. He's always been super kind to me. When he first came over to Nepwa,
Yeah.
he came from Israel, I believe.
Yeah,
He came back with Chase and whatever, and I was like, oh hey, and when he started talking, I was like, oh,
Right.
I'm like, I was not expecting that, but yeah, he was always cool with me. Always helped me improve in my time there. Like he was never nose in the air. Like,
Yep.
he's the Israeli superstar, man. He's
Yeah.
got his nose in the air at the shows, but like he's always super kind and like
So impressive looking.
Yeah,
I mean, what
he's
is
a
he,
freak.
6'3", 6'4"? I mean,
I don't know how tall he is.
he's tall. Though.
yeah,
He is
he's tall.
Jacked.
Yep.
and can work though. Like,
Yep.
I mean, guys, if you haven't seen him, check him out on YouTube
Absolutely.
and stuff. You really should.
I'm bummed that I missed that tag with him though.
Yeah. And what about his wife?
Davey?
Davey Ann, who in my opinion, and this is no knock on any other female wrestler in New England,
Yep.
she's number one. She is.
She's a locker room leader. She's very kind. I've never had too many interactions with her,
Oh,
but like
okay.
I've seen her from like a distance or close. There's been drills she's been involved with. Always super helpful when she was there, and like
Nice.
especially with some of my selling and stuff early on, she helped me a couple times. Probably does not remember, and that's more than okay.
Right. She probably helps a lot of guys.
No duh. Like
know,
she
yeah.
is who she is, you know.
Exactly.
And but yeah, she was always nice from what I knew of her.
Right. Excellent. Okay. How about I wasn't sure if he was at the school at Nepwa back when you were there, but Brian Logan?
I love
Because I know he's there now, Trey.
I love Brian Logan. He's great. He's always taking his time with me, like talk to me,
Right.
hype me up. Like I remember one day he got my confidence through the roof. He was like, said something like, he's like, okay, you're like when they were doing beginner, intermediate, advanced classes.
Yeah.
He was like, all right, now you're the best one in beginner. He's like, now I want you to be the best guy in intermediate. I was like, okay. I was like, it's nice to see someone believes in you, you know, like you
Nice.
need that sometimes, but he's always kind. He helps me a lot, like my moves and stuff, giving me suggestions. Like, I think this would be awesome for someone like you to do.
Right.
I do this thing. He actually gave the idea. I don't know if he remembers, but I do the Miz clothesline in the corner. Like I do a big running
Oh, you
clothesline.
slide through the ropes?
Yep, I sit there for a minute, bob my
Yep.
head when I'm a heel and like throw them like that, and then I feed through, and then I do a springboard knee as like a
Nice.
one of my bigger
Yeah.
moves. So he suggested that, so like, and people like that when they see it. So
Right,
like,
right.
thank you, Logan.
Yeah. I mean, all three of them are very talented,
Yep.
Matt. And I know Nick probably wasn't around at all. When
No,
you were
I've never
there.
met the brothers. I only
Nick's
met him.
running the Doughboy. I think he runs the Doughboy Wrestling in Lowell. All three so talented.
Yep.
Was Matt training there at all?
I never met the brothers.
Okay.
Never,
Excellent.
just Brian.
All right. How about Oh, you talked a little bit about him earlier, but Morta, CJ Cruz, Jason, whatever you want to call him.
Tough son of a bitch, but he's so nice.
Whoa.
He's so nice, and he's good, and he like, you know, every time I've ever touched with him, I feel like I walk away, if not 1% better, at least 10%. You know what I mean?
Right,
and I
right.
walk away with I have a bunch of takeaways when I got
Yep.
in with him, and like I said, he turned me into a callus.
Wow.
I'm like,
Nice.
yeah, so
How about was DL Hurst there at all? Do you remember DL Hurst? Because he's not wrestling anymore. After COVID hit.
Oh, yeah, he was the New England champion, and then and
Yeah.
COVID. No, I never met him. No, I never met him.
Because
or seen
him and Brett Domino was another kid that was training down there. I don't know if you crossed paths with him, but he hasn't come back since COVID either.
No, I don't think. I don't know those two.
Okay. Excellent. We'll move on to the next one. My guest that I got coming in a little while, Johnny Pierce.
Johnny Pierce. I actually don't know him, but we did have an interaction. We talked to each other for a little bit, for maybe a couple of minutes backstage at the show the other night. And that was kind of it. He was nice and polite to me and professional. Sorry, I don't have more to say about some of these guys, but I haven't got to interact with a lot of them.
Have you been watching any wrestling on TV?
Oh yeah, I've been way more into it recently since things changed.
Why don't we play that? We'll talk about that.
Oh boy.
What do you watch more of? Is it NXT? Is it AEW, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, or is it all the same?
Lately, I've been watching more Raw.
Okay.
It would probably go Raw, SmackDown, AEW, but before it was like SmackDown, AEW, Raw, or whatever.
Right. Okay. So since Vince has been gone, you pretty much have
I've been watching pretty much all of it, and
me too.
It's pretty entertaining. I had a good time watching it. I was like, oh, that's 3 hours already? I'm like, all right. So that's nice. That's nice to
now, who were you most excited that he brought back? Was anybody because he brought back
Bray Wyatt, hands down. Hands down. That's
anybody else after that? I mean, because obviously Bray would have to be at the top for almost anybody.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano would probably be next. I thought that was pretty cool to see him on the main roster.
Me too.
I feel like people have been waiting a long time for that, but I remember people had their reservations because of however it was. I don't know.
It's just weird because I definitely didn't think he was going to come back. I think if Vince was still around, he probably would have signed with AEW. I'm just guessing.
Who knows?
But with Triple H running it, Triple H is a big fan of Johnny's, and obviously him of Triple H, because NXT was at that top when Triple H was running.
Yeah.
Have you met Carmelo Hayes at all? I know he's not around, but
met him one time. One time when they were doing Reloaded, he was the world champion for the Chaotic Reloaded tapings, which was super. That was so cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Super creative. But I met him one time. He was nice, just kind of like, hey, how are you? Handshake, like, oh, I'm Carmelo. You new here? Blah blah blah. Oh, he was Christian at the time, not Carmelo.
Right, that's all right.
But hey, how you doing? You new here? Cool. See you later. Have a good day.
Nice.
Let me know if you need anything, sir. Cool. See you later.
Just goes to show you, though, right? Hard work, what it can get you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Coach Hollow. I mean, he trained at Nepwa, but Chase and Brian Fury did a hell of a job with him. Mm-hmm. I think Coach only coached him, Coach Hollow, a little bit, as a guest coach going in, but I know he was very high on Carmelo, How about, what do you think about CM Punk now? Do you think think he's coming back, or do you think they're going to end up letting him go?
I have no idea. I don't know. My opinion on the whole thing, I follow it and stuff. Yeah. I'm just like, if you're making that much money and I'm nobody, who am I to talk, I'm literally a speck of sand on a beach. So, you know what I mean? But if you're making that much money and you're on TV and you're the world champion, let's just play nice in the sandbox, you know? Let's just stay professional, go to work, and then bitch to your wife at home. And I was always taught, when you talk smack like that in the bar or in the car.
Right.
That's what they taught me.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I just couldn't believe Tony Khan sometimes was taken aback by some of these things that he said. And then I don't understand how he couldn't have thought saying all that was going to end up being good. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. I just figured I'd bring it up. It was really exciting thing that was going on for a couple months ago.
Definitely got a buzz. I was more into the MJF thing that they had going on. That was one where I was like, I can't tell. Is this real? Is this fake?
Right. Oh, he's incredible.
Yeah, and that one, the CM Punk, when I watched, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, ooh. Exactly. I watched it the next day, on YouTube, and I was like, whoa, this guy's not saying all these things. But it is what it is, right? But then they're still having more problems now with Andrade and Sammy Guevara.
Oh yeah, I seen that on Instagram or something. I don't know anything about that. I don't follow the beefs too much and the dirt sheets a lot, to be honest.
I just don't understand how they don't have a locker room leader to shut that stuff. You know what I mean? Shut that stuff down. I mean, someone's got to take charge and say, guys, enough.
I always thought it might be Jericho.
You would think. You would think that someone would be saying
maybe
something.
Brian. I don't know. I don't know how it goes. So
no, I would say if you were gonna pick it would definitely be Jericho would be one of them.
Brian, Moxley.
But I don't think you really need to be the top guy to be a locker room leader.
Yeah.
You know, I don't expect the young guys to do it, but
Yeah.
there could be other guys. I mean, the dude from the Dark Order,
Yep.
you know, anybody step up and, you know, put a stop to the shenanigans that's going on. All right. You watch NXT at all?
Honestly, not since it went since the production went Nickelodeon.
All
I
right.
haven't.
So let's go. Let's go to SmackDown, which, in my opinion, is the best wrestling show on TV right now.
Okay.
Roman Reigns is doing the best work of his life.
Yep.
He's held the title now for 2 years.
Yep.
Who do you see? Is there anybody out there?
I have no idea.
Is it-
It's fun. That's kind of the fun of it. Like,
That's
who's
what I-
going
yeah.
to be the one? Are they going to
Who?
split the titles again? Does he going to lose the WWE
Right.
one and keep his crazy long Universal one? I wouldn't mind that.
Nuts.
It's like maybe there's going to be some weird stipulation where someone cashes in the briefcase, and it's
Right.
like, well, technically you can only cash in for one or something. Like you never know because there's so many crazy things.
Yeah.
But like, I really thought it was going to be Drew at the in Wales,
Right.
but after that, I was like, I don't know, man. He's beaten everybody.
I was hoping that
I think it's
Drew-
going to be an injury.
Right. I
God
was
forbid,
hoping
but-
Drew, though, got that with the fans in attendance. I was really hoping that he did win the title. But again, Roman Reigns doing the best work of his life. Taking the title off him would be a hard thing to do right now.
What would you think of Sami Zayn winning the briefcase and cashing in on
Would love it.
Love it? Yeah,
Would love
maybe.
it.
He's
Would
hot
love
right
it.
now.
Or how about him staying with the bloodline and Kevin Owens gets to a feud and then joins his boy.
I feel like that's what they're gonna do. I think Sammy's gonna cost someone a match,
Right.
And they're gonna beat his ass, and then here comes KO. Sammy's gonna be gone for like a week or two. He's gonna come back. That old music's gonna hit.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get short hair Sammy back, but we'll see.
Kid's incredible though right now. He's doing his best work that he's done in the WWE since he's been signed. And it's just wild, like how they do the dynamic with Jay. Was it Jay Uso
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he's
yeah.
having a hard time with,
Yeah.
right? Just good stuff, you know? All right, let's see. What about another guy that I was very
Karrion
happy.
Kross?
Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Always happy to see Scarlett no matter what. But Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I dig the new look he came back with
too.
the hair and stuff. I don't know. I connected with him more. I didn't care too much about the NXT stuff,
Right.
And definitely not that first call up.
Oh, that was brutal.
Definitely not. I'm like,
Brutal.
damn. My friends used to joke and be like, oh, he looks like a substitute teacher without hair. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, man. But like, I definitely dig all that. I like the black and white, like when he does the promos or like when he popped up
The
and
entrance.
Yep.
The best entrance in wrestling right now.
TikTok, yeah. He's the look, the
Yeah, I
jacket.
like that.
It's just
TikTok.
cool. It's a cool thing to see, and it's like
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah.
So I think at least.
What about Hit Row? They brought Hit Row back without the star of the group. I don't mind it, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? But boy, I wish Swerve was still with them.
Yeah.
You know?
I never really followed them too much, but
Okay.
when they first came, because I wasn't watching NXT too much,
Right.
honestly. But when they came, I was like, oh, this is cool. I like that gimmick and whatever.
Right.
And then they were gone.
Right.
Just like when they did that thing with Malachi Aleister Black, where he came out and he kicked Big E in the face, and then he was
Yes.
gone. They had all those
Yep.
cool promo packages and like the stories and stuff. I was
Right.
like, oh, this is awesome. And then he was gone. I was like, oh no, what happened? So I don't know. Sometimes I get like I'm like, all right, I'm interested in that, and then poof, they're
And then
gone.
It's gone. Yeah. And that's no knock on the rest of the guys, because
No.
I really think, they're good, but I really wish Swerve hadn't been signed and it wasn't with AEW. Braun Strowman's back.
Yep.
What do you think about Braun?
I was never, not that he's bad or anything,
Right.
obviously not. Look at the money he makes. But that just isn't that's just not my thing.
Right.
I think it was like cool, like the flipping the ambulances and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. That's cool. But like for me personally, in my taste, like everyone, like his coach says, like everyone, it's ice cream,
Right.
Some people like strawberry, some people
Yep.
like vanilla. In this case, I like chocolate or whatever. You know what I mean? Like after seeing that a couple times, I'm like, yeah, cool, nice. But like
Right.
he's like when he had the world title, I was like, what's going on Raw?
I never understood why they built them up so high and then to release them. And to complain about budget cuts. Yet in the next sentence they said I've made more money this quarter than ever.
Yeah.
So, but I figured I'd get your opinion on that.
I like him in certain roles, but like
Right.
as like the centerpiece of like the show, like he was at one point. I was like, no, that's not really for me. But
Right,
but that's okay. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's plenty of other stuff to enjoy on the show.
Right.
It's not about just the top. It's all that other stuff that makes the show cool too.
Yep. And it looks like he's going to be going at it with Osmo. Is that how you say it? Osmos?
The MVP's new
Yeah,
guy?
yeah.
Almost?
Dude.
I forget.
Jim Cornette calls him almost. So I think we'll go with that one. But he's huge, dude. Excuse me. I couldn't believe how much bigger than Bronny was. I thought he was a little bigger. He's got like 3 or 4 inches on Braun. He's a monster.
Braun's a monster. He's crazy jacked.
Definitely. And also just coming back recently was all at what pay-per-view was it? Where Dakota Kai,
SummerSlam?
Io Sky, yeah.
That was cool.
And Bailey all came back.
I like a nice female faction sometimes.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
cool. I like the Toxic Attraction a lot.
Yes, me too.
Gigi, it looks like my son's mother, so I was like, okay, of
dude,
course,
that's
naturally.
I love that. Oh, she's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
They're cool. I like them. I like their entrance. I like.
Yep.
They're slimy. I like it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
It's fun.
It is good. All right, so what about Bianca Belair?
She's awesome. And she reminds me of my sister, actually.
Really?
I told her, I was like, Alana, I'm watching this girl on TV and she makes me think of you.
Wow.
And like, she's cool. I always like the hair whip. I remember I think it was a Rumble and maybe it was like some other match, but she cracked someone with her ponytail.
and that's-
I don't know if it was gimmicked or if it was real, but I was like,
Yeah. Dude, I think it was
That
Sasha
sound.
Banks, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
It was one of the bigger stars that she
I
hit
feel like
with.
it was either Sasha or Charlotte. I can't remember.
One of them. It was a big star, though, that's for sure.
But that hair thing, that was cool.
You could hear it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, is that gimmick?
It's like a whip.
Yeah. But yeah, she's awesome. That was cool. I just watched I just finally finished the Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
Did ya? Yeah.
Yeah, I got my boy, so I can't do all that stuff all the time.
Did you like it?
I love that ladder match. Like, I was like, all right, cool. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just cool. I liked it. I like the spots. I like the ladder bridge from like, I think it was the stairs to the corner barricade, and then Bailey dropped an elbow on Bianca.
Yes.
I was like, that looked like that sucked.
Yeah, definitely.
But that was definitely fun.
Nice. So I thought it was a really good show. I can't wait to see. What's the next one? Do you know by chance?
The next show, I think it's Survivor Series.
Survivor Series?
I think so.
That ought to be good. Now, they should be starting. Hopefully, they'll go back at least. I think last year they only did one Survivor Series style match.
Yeah.
The whole show. I'd like to see them go back to that. Just because, I mean, that's what it was for years.
Just one. I like, yeah, I think I saw something where they said they're going to do more story-based, and it's not just going to be like, all right, all the storylines are on pause for 3 weeks so we can do Raw versus SmackDown.
Right.
Like, I never really cared for that,
Yeah.
personally. But, like, they're doing War Games this year, so that's cool.
Right. Yeah, that ought to be really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
The last War Games I saw was the NXT one.
Yep.
With Undisputed Era, Viking War.
Is that the one with Kevin Owens in it, too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was a great match.
Yes, I actually got tickets for that. I haven't gone to a WWE like live event since I think 2018.
Really?
I think it was like when Shinsuke and AJ were feuding.
Yeah. Now they were just in Worcester, I think, on a couple Friday nights ago.
Think so, yeah.
I think it was the Friday before Extreme, or maybe it was the week before that. I don't know.
Close to, right? Yeah.
But I don't go to many WWE events, live events, especially like the TV shows.
Yeah.
Pause it at home and hit my own bathroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only time I'll go to like a WWE show is like if it's an NXT.
Yeah.
I'll go see the younger guys. I happen to go to the one in Lowell when Samoa Joe won the title.
Nice.
That was incredible.
Nice.
Is there anything you want to plug? We got 4 minutes. We'll just keep talking. But is there anything you want to plug? Let everybody know your next show.
I'll be at
anything
the,
that they
I'll
need
be-
to know about you.
Next show, I'll be at UFO. Was the Monsters Ball?
Yes.
I'll be at the Monsters Ball Battle Royal. Amesbury. I'll be there. Watch me win it.
There you go.
Yeah, just be on the lookout. I got a bunch of content being built up, but I got to think of a couple more things. It's a process, like I said. I'm slow burn, but when it comes, it's gonna come. I promise you won't be let down.
What about social media?
Social
plug
media-
your social media?
I don't have much on there, but I
Okay.
have my Instagram.
Yeah.
It's Larenz Markell Larenz_Markell. You can follow me there if you want and see some
Right.
cool stuff. Watch me talk smack on stories and watch me be an absolute scumbag
No.
via Instagram story.
Yeah?
Yeah, get ready for it. It's coming.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So how about we talk a little bit more about music?
Okay, sure. If you want.
You've been a drummer, you said, since you were 17 years old. When was the last show you had?
Last show I did, oh my God, it was like a couple of years ago
Really?
because when I was doing Sync With Me, it was COVID still, and we weren't sure when shows were coming back. Some promoters would try and like be like, yeah, we can do the show, but like the general public were like, oh no, we're not ready to go to shows because we don't want to get sick, which that's fine. So we just hit like the studio hard and all that stuff. So we weren't really doing shows, but I was doing a lot of music videos. I was doing a lot of work in the studio with the guys and all that good stuff. So
nice. Yeah, you guys made like videos and stuff like that too.
Yeah, they're still going. They got a new guy. He's good. He's great. I'm glad they have someone who can dedicate more time to them for sure. Because I couldn't do it anymore, and who am I to be selfish? Because I was taking this wrestling more serious than that.
Is there any like songs that these guys should look out for from your old band?
Oh, Sync With Me. They just released a couple new songs. You can just type in Sync With Me. If you type in Sync With on YouTube, it'll all pop up.
Nice.
You know, you can go to Dreambound, check them out. You'll see me on there in a couple music videos. I think like 3 or 4 maybe.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Lots of views. They're popular. They spread great messages. In my time with them, we actually had this guy reach out via Instagram. I'm not going to give his name or whatever, but his son had some disorder where he couldn't really speak or vocalize things much, like not even like noises, I believe is what it was. And he sent us a video of his son watching our music video on his TV, and he's vocalizing, he's yelling. And
that's awesome.
And I'm huge with kids. I'm a dad, so I was like, oh my God, wow. So we sent him, Evan, the vocalist, sent him a bunch of free stuff, shirts and whatever.
Cool.
Like, we've always been good with the kids and stuff like that. Like, I'd give kids, like, my broken cymbals at shows and sign them. They were larger than life. There's actually one thing you'll like. I don't have pictures for it, but I'd have to find them. But we played a show out in Missouri, and the theme was wrestling, and the drum set was in half of a ring set up, and then around the stage was a Hell in a Cell.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super. I was like, are you serious?
Cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I'll have to find the pictures for you.
Yeah.
I tried to find them to give them to you, but I couldn't find them. I was like, damn it. They're somewhere.
Right. When you find them, you can let me, give them to me. Anything you want to say to the coaches or anything like that?
Anyone who's ever had a hand in my training, thank you guys for everything. Like, genuinely, not just because I'm in front of a camera. Like, thank you guys so much. I'm happy I get to do this. I'm happy that you guys didn't quit on me, no matter who you are, and I'm glad that you guys have all been supportive, whether it's Coach Hollow, whether it's Scott Reed, whether it's Chase and all the Scott Guerin. Darren Benedict does not get I forget his work name on commentary at Chaotic, but he always believed in me. Brian Logan, all you guys, just thank you enough. And if I missed anyone, I'm sorry. But you're all so sweet. So sweet. Thank you, guys.
Well, Larenz, thanks for coming on the show. Honestly, it was
thank you for having me.
No problem. It was my pleasure. I like getting to know guys.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, guys, that's it. Bruins just started their 2 wins and no losses. They play tonight. Go Bees. Everybody, thanks again. Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.